5 mistakes. These are the 5 mistakes that I see UAE finance teams make with VAT over and over again. And honestly, every single one of them can turn into a 6-figure penalty. If you're managing VAT across multiple entities or even just one company, stick around because I'm going to show you exactly what these mistakes are and how to fix them. Hi, I'm Suhail. We have over 12 years experience in tax, more than 8 years in UAE and GCC VAT. We have worked with 100 plus M&A transactions and we're currently leading e-invoicing implementation, and I've seen these mistakes destroy businesses. Not because they are careless, but because nobody told them what to watch out for. So let me tell you, mistake number 1, treating VAT as an accounting problem. Most businesses hand VAT to the finance team and say, yalla, figure it out. The accountants look at the invoices, they calculate 5%, they file the return, and done. But here's the problem. VAT is not just about numbers. VAT is about how your business operates. When you sign a contract, that's a VAT decision. When you give something away for free, that's a VAT decision. When you structure a deal with related parties, that's a VAT decision. And your accountants, they only see the invoice at the end. They don't see the decisions that created the invoice. The fix? VAT needs to sit at the intersection of finance, legal, and operations. Your legal team is drafting contracts, they need to understand VAT implications. Your operations team is signing off on promotions, they need to know the VAT impact. VAT is a business problem, not just an accounting problem. Mistake number 2, relying on one VAT person. We see this all the time. There's just one person in the company who knows VAT. Maybe it's the finance manager, maybe it's a senior accountant. Everyone goes to them with VAT questions. Ask Ahmed, he knows VAT. And then what happens? Ahmed goes on leave, Ahmed gets sick, Ahmed resigns. And suddenly, nobody knows anything. Your entire VAT knowledge is sitting on one person's head. No documentation, no process, just Ahmed. And the fix? It's simple. You need to institutionalize your VAT knowledge. That means documented. That means documented positions. That means written processes. That means multiple people trained on how VAT works in your specific business. Ahmed should still be your expert, but Ahmed's knowledge needs to be written down. Otherwise, you're one resignation letter away from a crisis. Mistake number 3, no documented VAT positions. Okay, this one is critical. Listen carefully. The FTA shows up for an audit. They ask you, why did you treat this transaction as 0 rated? You say, our consultant told us. They say, show me the documentation. And you have nothing. Maybe an email from 2 years ago, maybe a WhatsApp message, maybe nothing at all. No formal VAT position on paper, no analysis, no sign off, and now you're in trouble. Because the FTA doesn't care about what your consultant said, they care what you can prove. The fix? Every significant VAT position needs to be documented, written down, analyzed, signed off, stored somewhere you can actually find. When the FTA asks why, you pull out a document and say, here's our analysis, here's the legislation we relied on, here's who approved it. That's the difference between confidence and panic. If you're finding this useful, do me a small favor. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I post weekly content specifically for UAE finance leaders dealing with VAT, e-invoicing, and tax compliance. And if you have questions about any of these mistakes, drop them in the comments. I read every single one. Okay, now let's keep going. Mistake number 4, thinking your ERP equals VAT logic. So, you've got a fancy ERP system, SAP, Oracle, Microsoft Dynamics, whatever. And you think, great, the system handles VAT automatically. We set up the tax codes, we're good. No, you're not good. Here's what your ERP does. It applies a tax code to a transaction based on rules you configured. Here's what your ERP doesn't do. It doesn't know UAE VAT law. It doesn't understand that this specific customer is in a designated zone. And it doesn't know that the supply should actually be treated differently because of the contract terms. Your ERP is a calculator. It calculates what you tell it to calculate. If you tell it the wrong thing, it calculates the wrong thing. Perfectly, consistently wrong. The fix? Your ERP configuration needs to be reviewed against actual VAT legislation, not just once during implementation, but regularly. Laws change, business models change. Your ERP configuration needs to change with them. Don't trust the system blindly. Trust the logic behind the system. Mistake number 5, waiting for an audit to fix issues. This one frustrates us the most, honestly. I talk to finance directors who they know something isn't right. There's a transaction category that's been bugging them for years. There's a process that feels wrong. There's a consultant recommendation from back 2018 and they're not sure about it anymore. But they don't fix it. They wait. Let's see what happens in the audit. And here's the thing. When the FDA finds it in an audit, you're not just fixing the problem. You're paying penalties. You're paying interest. You're paying the stress and the reputation damage. But if you find it yourself, if you do a voluntary disclosure, different story. Reduced penalties, controlled process, your terms, not theirs. The fix? You do your own internal audit before the FDA does. Find the issues, fix them, disclose if needed. Be proactive. The FDA actually looks more favorably on businesses that come forward. It shows you're trying to get it right. So look, these are the 5 mistakes. And here's what I've noticed. When we work with businesses to fix these issues, there's actually a pattern, a framework that addresses all 5 of these at once. I call it diagnose, validate, systemize, document, monitor framework. In short, DVSDM Framework. I've actually done a full video breakdown of this framework in detail, step by step, how to implement it, how it looks like in practice. You can find the video here. If you're serious about getting your VAT sorted, properly sorted, what's that next? That's from me. Thanks for watching.